Welcome back to another episode of Showtime Radio Podcast. I am your host, Showtime, also known as Jenna. And before we dive into this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, click that notification button so you know when I drop a new video, and tell a friend to pull up, pour up any drink of your choice and tune in as we dive into these hot topics. Now, as you can see from the title, I'm actually starting this without even knowing what to title this video. So fair warning, this video might be a little bit all over the place, kind of just venting, if there's any positive and motivational things I can give. Hopefully that will come out for myself and for others in the same situation, and just also celebrating the life of my son that has passed, right? So in 2018, I was pregnant. Me and Levins were pregnant with a baby boy, and I was carrying him for about halfway through the pregnancy when I had him early, and due to complications of my cervix, and it's like I went. Okay. Try not to cry. Okay, here we go. So I had him early due to complications of my cervix, and so which led me to have him early. Oh my God. And then so he was alive for a very short amount of time after giving birth to him, and then he had passed in the hospital not too long after having him. And so that was probably let me backtrack. Okay, so me and Levins were pregnant in 2018 with a baby boy. I carried him for about 5 months. He was in my belly, and on Christmas I was having some bleeding, some pain and stuff like that. I didn't know that I was having bleeding. I was just having like a lot of pain, which was contractions that I found out later on. And then I got home. I went to the movies. I got home from the movies, and I was just telling my mom, I think that I was bleeding, I was having pain and stuff like that. So we went to the hospital, and turns out I was in labor, and there was complications with my cervix, which had sent me into labor. The labor was progressing so fast that there was no way to slow it down or prevent it. They tried to, so I started off at Brockton Hospital. They ended up sending me to Boston. What is the name? Of course, right now it's what is the name? Brain fart. Trauma will do that to you guys. Trauma will make you forget certain things, so it's easier to deal with, because it was a very, very traumatic experience, and so random. So whatever. So I went to the hospital in Boston, and they rushed me over in the ambulance, and I just remember in the ambulance, just singing to him and trying to stay strong and positive, and trying to not be too stressed, because stress affects the baby when you're pregnant and stuff. And so so we get there. They sent me over there to see if they could put a stitch in my cervix to hold the baby in, and stop the laboring from happening. But because I was so far into labor, unfortunately I wasn't able to put the stitch in, which led me to having him and then losing him that night. Sorry, guys. And so that was 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I ended up having him actually on today. So happy birthday to you, Vaury Alexander Drew Damas, baby boy V. It's so crazy how time flies. And so that ended up happening. And I remember waking up the next day in the hospital, like hoping that it was a dream, and like it never really happened, and then also being like, this is like my reality now. And I remember in that moment of being there, like when it first happened, and then the next day that I had to choose, like, because I already suffer with depression and some other things. And so I knew anything that's very emotional in tune could throw me off and send me down into dark places that I've been emotionally and mentally. And the grace of God, I was able to handle it better than I imagined. It was this strength that I was given in that moment to not lose myself. And yeah, it's a different side of me that you guys see so far. So each year it always gets hard around this time, which is unfortunate because it is the holiday season. So it always gets harder around the holiday season because I had all that stuff happen on Christmas, and then the next day on the 26th is when I had him. So it's always rough around these times. I can say that I used his and I can say that after getting home from the hospital, I think like a day or two went by. At the time, me and my older sister, we weren't getting along, and his death kind of put things in perspective of there's no age limit of when you're gonna go. You never know when you're gonna go, and to take advantage of the life that you have, because he wasn't able to experience anything that I imagined he would experience. He didn't experience anything that everybody who's living is able to experience, whether good or bad. He didn't have any experience of life. He was here and he was gone like that. And so it kind of put things in perspective to mend things, and that's what I took upon myself to do with my older sister, to mend things, to appreciate every moment, to remind people that if you love them, tell them you love them, to remind yourself to not to sweat I keep saying guys, I'm sorry, it's just a very, very real, raw topic. Excuse me, I don't usually open up like that, so it's a little awkward. I'm very closed off in certain areas. So back to what I was saying, it taught me to choose to live and not exist, I guess. And we often just take life for granted, and we take, relationships that we have with people for granted. We take, the gifts that God gives us for granted. We take the blessings for granted. And to us, they're so small, but to other people, they're so big, or in general, they're actually big. And we need to acknowledge that and appreciate that, and so it hurts. It hurts like hell. It hurts like hell, but I like to look at the glass half full instead of half empty, and think about what he left and what he left behind, and how he changed, and how somebody so small and didn't even speak a word could have such an impact on the people that are around him and around his mom and loved him and knew of him. And so it's to all other moms and dad out there who experienced the loss of a child, whether while carrying early on or later on, or stillborns, or even if they've grown, they're here and they were living and now they're gone, to leave the earth before your child leaves. Don't mind the dog barking in the background. Goddamn dog's always barking. my heart goes out to you, and you know, I understand your pain, and you know, it's always good to, you know, surround yourself with people that, you know, that love and support you, but it's also good to have people that have been through that same pain, to know, that knows how it feels, and you know, you can lean on each other and help guide each other, and yeah, and also to keep living. I know that I have kids now, and it makes me want to, every time this year comes around, it makes me want to squeeze them. I was telling my sister, you know, squeeze them a little tighter. It makes you want to love people a little harder. And so for me personally, I feel like any child, my child, your child, if you're watching this, who has been through the similar same thing, would not want you to just be sad, even though it's hard not to be sad, even though there's not a day to go by that we don't think about them and think about the memories that we didn't get to experience, or for me, not being able to hear him call my mom and stuff like that. I'm not crying for you guys. I made this video for kind of like my own diary, but also to letting other moms and or other dads know that experience this as well, that you know, there is other people out there that are like you, and you know, not to shy away for how you feel, and there's moments it's okay not to be strong. Sometimes it's okay to cry, it's okay to miss and hurt them, but also not to sit in those feelings. You know, you have those feelings, and you know, you keep going, and not in a sense of you move on, but you keep living your life for them because they couldn't, and you keep living your life for yourself because you're here, and you're still blessed to be here to live your life, and for the ones that are around you, and if you have kids that didn't make it and that are still here, you know, to live for them too, and try to find the lesson. And sometimes it's hard, and sometimes you're like, why would you take him or her, whatever the case may be, and sometimes it'll take years before you know why, sometimes you'll never know why, sometimes you'll find out sooner, but to just be real with where you are, and you know, always remind yourself that you did the best that you can as a parent, because I know that for me, as a parent, you know, you want to protect, you want to provide, you want to love, you want to comfort, you want to, you know, and so when stuff like this happens, for me personally, it made me feel like I did a shitty job as being a mom and protecting and stuff like that. And there was so much guilt that came over me, and sometimes that I still deal with, and thinking about like, you know, what could I have done differently and stuff like that. But sometimes things happen because that's what they were supposed to happen. That's how they were supposed to happen. And sometimes it's for the best. Sometimes you can protect them from something worse that they would have to physically just live their life out with on here on earth. There's endless possibilities. At least that's what I try to look at it as. When the guilt starts being heavy, and you know, I also wanted to say, don't be afraid to get help or talk to somebody about it. I have a great support team and my family who also use this day to do something in life, you know, to do something, what's the word I'm looking for? To just live, I guess. You know, they use this day to make sure that they're living, they're doing things that, you know, for accomplishments. I don't have any tissue. Don't judge me. I had to use my sleeve. They're using this day as a reminder to get up and live and accomplish your goals and stuff like that, which I appreciate. So, you know, you want to make sure you surround yourself with a good support system, with love, with people that you can trust, revealing your heart to and how you feel about this moment. And like I said, you know, it's okay to cry, it's okay to be hurt, it's okay, you know, to feel the feelings that you're feeling. Just don't sit in them, because when you sit in them, it just makes it worse and heavier and harder. And this topic alone is very, very heavy. No parent should have to say goodbye to their child. I feel like the child are supposed to say goodbye to their parents when their parents get older. Because some parents be going too soon. People go too soon, man. Too soon. You know? And so it's just, you know, I'm happy I'm making this video going into 2023, because I can look back and just remind myself to live. I can look back and remind myself to try. I can look back and remind myself not to give up. I can look back and remind myself not to complain. I can look back and remind myself to thank God and show gratitude. I can look back and remind myself to change my dreams. I can look back and remind myself that I'm still here to do anything that my heart desires, anything that I wish that my son was able to do and had the opportunity to do. So I want you guys to not take this as a sad boo-hoo, look at her, she's so sad video. But I want you to take this video as I'm gonna live every moment to my fullest. And that doesn't mean like, oh, I can't take naps, I can't rest or whatever, because your body is meant to rest. Your body, you know, need that time to rest and recharge, and you know, that's a sense of taking care of yourself. You know, going to take your foot off the gas, but I need to just go after everything that your heart desires, whatever your spirit is calling you to and leading you to. Pick up the phone and go. Don't hold back. Stop complaining, stop wishing and wanting for somebody else's life, because we're all going through it. We're all hurting and healing and dealing and literally just trying to figure it out for our damn selves. You know, it's, you know, this video's to, you know, for all the moms and dads who feel like they're alone or feel like, where do I go from here? You know, I'm telling you how I'm going from here. And, you know, every time the time comes around, I take my moments to cry and mourn, but, you know, I don't want to sit in it anymore, and I want to get up and keep moving. And so that's why I encourage the parents that have lost to get up and do something in the name of their child that they have lost, and just yeah. This might actually be one of my shorter videos, because this is hard, but I'm glad I'm doing it. I'm glad I'm honoring my son, and his own personal legacy that he left behind. He made a way to, you know, I feel like sacrificed himself so I was able to have more kids in the future, because now I literally had him, Leia, and Zakari all within, like, back to back to back. Because I had him in 18, the end of 18, then I had Leia in 2020, and then I had the beginning of 2020. So I got pregnant in 2019, had Leia in the beginning of 2020, and then got pregnant in 2020, had Z in the end of 2020. So yeah. Wait, what? Didn't I? Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, because my brain just like, yeah. So I had Lay got pregnant with Lay, and had Lay in 2020, the beginning of 2020, and then got pregnant with Z and had him at the end of 2020. So I literally had, it was boom, boom, boom. And, you know, I could have kept losing. I know women who gets pregnant and loses, get pregnant and loses, get pregnant and loses. And so, you know, that is one thing I am grateful for, that, you know, because I was scared. I was scared when I found out I was pregnant with Leanna. You know, I was happy because I just lost a baby, and now I'm blessed with another baby. But I was scared that I was gonna go through that same pain again. I was so scared, and but by the grace of God, I had her C-section, I might add, because the doc. That's another thing. That's a whole other. I'll do a whole other video about my pregnancy experience, but because they low-key jacked me up. I should not have had a C-section, but whatever. But yeah, so I had her all healthy, me and her both healthy, and I had Z, me and him both healthy. And so, you know, I am grateful to be able to, you know that I can carry and have these kids. And so, oh God. Oh, this video, I've, you know, what's crazy is that my trauma and my body knew what was coming before I would even realize. Like, I knew his birthday was coming up, but, you know, and I thought, like, you know, it's been a couple years, I'm doing better and stuff like that. But, you know, a couple of weeks, like for the last 2 weeks, I've just been in a funk. My emotions were all over the place. And, you know, I deal with depression, especially seasonal depression. And so I just thought it was that. And I was, you know, trying to use my tools that I've learned and that I've shared with you guys to, you know, try to tackle it and, you know, just handle it and, you know, get me through the winter so I can, you know, get to the better weather, you know, and which will help me feel better. And I remember being in the shower and it was just so heavy one day. My emotions were just so heavy and I just felt so sad. And I'm standing in the shower and I'm like, it's that time of year. And I just start crying and crying because, you know, when you go through a traumatic experience and the anniversary of that traumatic experience comes up, you just relive it. It just plays, just flashes in your head at random times of the day. It just there's no real warning of when it's gonna come on, right? So it was just going and going and going, and I was just crying. And I remember reaching out to my girls, the women in my family, and just, you know, reminding them, you know, hey, I'm strong, but, you know, I could use some prayer right now because, like I said, you know, reach out, lean on people, talk to people, share your heart, share your heart with people you can trust. So I did that. And, you know, Christmas was hard, you know, today was hard. I didn't cry at all today until this moment of actually having to open my mouth on the day of, you know, on the anniversary of it actually happened and, you know, share my story with you guys. And and so my body, my emotions, my trauma knew, even though I knew it was dealing it. It was ahead of me before I could, like, you know what I mean? Like, it already started that mourning process again before I could actually, like, meet it there, you know? And so it's been rough. It's been rough with recording. It's been a minute since I actually got behind. I know I just dropped a video, but it's been a minute since I actually got behind the camera and recorded. And, you know, I use, like I said earlier, I use knowing that, you know, get up and do it because you're here. You know, get up and do it for him. Get up and do it for all the other people that have experienced what you've experienced. And, you know, let them know that, you know, life goes on, but it's about how you go about it, right? And it's not like just move on, or because I know that I didn't hear him speak. Like, he was 5 months, right? So he was there. I could see him, his bald head, dark skin, chocolate like his daddy. But I never heard him speak. You know, I've never seen him walk. I never made those memories that I was, you know, planning on. And so for some people that might just be like, oh, well, you know, just move on, or it's time to move on and stuff like that. And I do agree you're not supposed to sit in there, but I do know that when you mourn someone, it doesn't matter. Like, loving someone is loving someone. So when you lose them, you're gonna mourn them. And so you have the right for when that time comes around to be upset and to feel how you feel, like I said earlier. And I want to keep saying it because sometimes people don't allow people to feel how they feel. But what I'm saying is that when I say by life goes on, and it's how you go about it, it's, you know, taking that lesson, if you can find a good lesson in that moment, and applying it to modern day and living it out now and for your child. Like, you know, like I've been saying in this video, I know I'm saying some things, like repeating them, but it's good for me to hear and remember, and it's also good for people watching. But yeah, so that's where I've been, where I've been in the last couple of weeks, what I've been dealing with, and what I'm trying to grow and push through. But I purposely wanted to make this video today because today is his birthday. Again, shout out to you. Happy birthday. Vaury, there's not a day that goes by that I don't miss you, don't think about you, don't wish that I could see you and Leah and Zakaria all play together. I love you. I love you so much. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I couldn't, you know. Sorry I couldn't protect you like a mom and carry you like a mother should. But I know you're happy. I know God's got you. I know you know, we have our arrangement of meeting in the meadow in heaven. And so I'm not gonna be there anytime soon. I got years. How am I about to be 25 in a couple of days? I got like a good 60 something years, like 65 years. No, 70 something years. Cause I'm trying to be old when I'm going. I'm trying to live my life. But I will eventually see you, and we can pick up where we left off. Oh, oh my God, babe. Yeah. So I know this video was probably all over the place because I'm all over the place, and this is real. This is raw. I couldn't really plan. I don't really plan my videos out, to be honest. Like, I'll go in like, oh, I don't want to talk about this, and I want to hit these couple points, but I kind of just go with the flow. You guys see my brain. It's always all over the place. But this one I really couldn't. I just knew that I wanted to do it. All this stuff was happening, you know, something, you know, the computer messing up. I couldn't put the stand up how I wanted to. I couldn't figure out my Dad just got me a new stand for my camera. Shout out to you, Dad. Thank you. So I couldn't, I was trying to figure that out because I just got it yesterday for Christmas and I don't know how to use it. So all this stuff was happening. And then I remember Lemon saying, like, you know, maybe you're not supposed to do the video today. And I was just thinking, like, no, I got to do this video today. Like I said, I haven't been behind the camera. I haven't had any motivation. I've been lazy. I've been down and depressed and stuff like that. And so I think this was perfect time, not only to honor him, but to remind me of that I'm still here, and every minute that I'm here is another minute of opportunity and to take advantage. And so that's exactly what I did today. It was hard. It sucked, but it didn't suck. But I did it, and I'm proud of myself for it. Might have some more tears off the camera later, you know, in the shower, you know, cry. And I think was it my sister who told me that? Cry in the shower, you know, say you get soap in your eyes. I think it was her. But it's so true. You get your cries out in the shower and just be like, oh yeah, I got some soap in my eye. I wash my face. No one knows. No one knows. Sometimes let people know, and sometimes you keep it to yourself. That's how I am, at least. If I want to cry by myself, or if I need somebody to cry, I switch it up or whatever. Listen. But yeah, so I hope you guys had a great Christmas. I had a great Christmas. It was very fun, very, very fun. I had my moments, like I said. So it was fun. It was a little sad. But it was fun. My kids had a great Christmas. Goddamn, they're spoiled. Levin's had a great Christmas. All of my family had a great Christmas. It was awesome. It was really good. I had some bomb food. Levin's mom made. It was so good. Yeah, so stay tuned for some new stuff. I am getting back into vlogging. If you guys didn't know that are subscribed to this channel, I used to vlog by myself, and then I had a channel with me and my boyfriend, but we had to kind of put that channel on pause while we're getting like our stuff together. But I was like, you know what, like I want to vlog like just me, obviously they're gonna be in it, but the channel is gonna be about me and just like all my everyday stuff. So like that's what I want to do. So I'm gonna start up my vlog channel in the new year. So I think the first vlog is like starting me getting prepped for my birthday coming up, which is on this Thursday. I'm gonna be 25. I'm about to be 25, and so I thought like why not start it up in the new year? Why not like put something else under my belt? Let's get it done. Let's I love being on the camera. I love talking to you guys. Why not start my vlog channel up? Because I had so much fun with it, and I always say I miss vlogging, so I'm gonna do that. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Oh, I didn't even say what I was drinking. I didn't even cheers to you guys. I'm so sorry. Shout out to Precious who got me this cup. It's so cute. Isn't it so cute? Let's see. There we go. It's so cute. But yeah, I'm drinking cranberry soda. So boop, clink, 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 clink. Okay, and stay tuned for any other podcast that I come up with. I am gonna get back on being consistent. I'm sorry that I wasn't, and get out of this funk and live for my baby boy V. And what was I gonna say? Oh, please comment down below if you experience the same thing, if you know somebody that experienced the same thing, if any other topics you would like me to discuss, and if this helped you as well. And I really hope that it did, because it's so easy to just sit there and be sad and depressed. I know. So I really hope that it did, guys. So yeah, so make sure you like, comment, subscribe, click that notification button so you know when I drop another video, you guys. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.